we play against Black Yellow Luffy. Good matchup for us. We just need to develop board and bottom deck everything. Let's mulligan this hand. We have no searcher, no anything, and they choose to go second. We have to go first. We can develop stage here. I don't really think it's needed in this matchup. Maybe if they play Moria, then sure. Let's go like this. And we trash Helmepo. The correct sequencing would be obviously to trash first, in case we draw Tashigi, but it's okay. It will be really slow matchup. Most likely. We start with playing down Brainu. Let's see what options we have. We have Houndblaze, it's good, and we have Lucci. And in this matchup, I value Houndblaze a lot, because we can bottom deck the pieces of Black Yellow Luffy. And then we need to trash something next turn. Most likely we play Kuzan or Sabo. Rebecca is still good to bring back Hina or Lucci if needed. So I will just trash Brainu here. And we get another Brainu. I don't attack to prevent the Luffy from getting free resources from life. Board on turn for them, most likely they can play Searchers or just Gemmas. And they push 9k, nothing we can do about it, and we take. And it's a good news. We drew Gecko Moria from life. And again, we don't have that many attackers to threaten any damage, any lethal damage, especially into Black Yellow Luffy, so we continue with developing the board, playing the Kuzan for the reducer on board and card advantage, and then we follow up with Tashigi. Let's see what we can do here, and it's either another Kuzan or Murakumo. Murakumo sounds good, especially that we have only Houndblaze, so not much bottom decking. 2k counter also could be nice, but we have some blockers in hand. So let's pick Murakumo here, return to the bottom, and now we have to trash something. And I will trash non-counter card from our hand, that is Hina, because we have Kuzan already on board. And now we have the second Rebecca, so we can cycle our trash nicely to remove any threat played by Luffy while developing a blocker. Let's see how they proceed with the turn. And still we are not attacking because we are not threatening to Luffy in any way at this point. And if we attack, we just help them with their win condition. Here 6000 power attack. We don't have 2k counters. Might be risky to take it because they can start jamming us. But next turn we most likely play Rebecca anyway. So let's take this damage. Another Marineford, so we know what we will be trashing in our turn. And they develop Sabo, draw 2 cards, trash 2 cards. So filtering the hand and preparing the trash for GB transformations. In the later turns, we draw, very nice. We have another bottom deck, so we trash. Marineford here, pick another Houndblaze, and we can do some things here. And develop our Rebecca and then use the Houndblaze, but we don't really want to push too much, but we also want to bottom deck. So yeah, I think it's the most optimal way here. So we will play Rebecca, pick up Hina, play Hina to reduce the Sabo. And here's the thing, we are not pushing, so maybe we can use Murakumo here, but we have already 3 Houndblazes. So most likely I will just use the Houndblaze here. Okay, I want to keep Kuzan standing to force him into some movement. But on the other hand, we can push a little bit and see if they counter. We have 1, 2, 3 attacks, so we don't threaten anything. So might be better to just pass the turn. And I think this is what we're gonna do. So we just pass and let's see how they develop their turn. They have some options, they are already at 8 dawn. They have some pieces in trash. Now they play Garp, most likely Druid for a turn. Draw another Sabo, one we already bottom decked. And the reason why we are not attacking is because Black Yellow Luffy requires zero life to start using his effect. That is really powerful. But if we prevent him from that, then they need to use the life manipulation. That is any card with 2k counter in his deck. So if they want to manipulate the life with cards like Flampe or Hiyori, they are using 2k counters from hand. And they play the Luffy to buff him and eat the life. Then attach 1 dawn and push 6k into our Rebecca, into our Hina. And because we have Rebecca already in hand and we can make some space on the board, we will just block here, no problem. And they play another Garp to search for Luffy, Sabo or Ace. And they pick another Sabo, so it's the third one already. One is bottom deck and 2 in hand. We drew Helmepo, and I think it's a very good turn to start applying some pressure, because we want to remove the Luffy anyway. So let's just push 5 here, and they counter, so we can push another one. Let's see how they react. They take. So at this point, most likely I will stop, or we can force them, because we can swing one more time. If they take it, we have double Hound Blaze, right? So we have 2 and 2. Will be 6 and 5k swing. Is it enough at this game state? I think there is nothing to rush here. We can do it next turn and just develop the Sabo most likely and bottom deck, right? And then we should have a good push next turn, or 8 cards. Let me see, we have a lot of power. What are you going to do? Are you going to take it? Okay, he took it. That's interesting. Okay, let me see. Maybe we can force something. Not the optimal way, but I want to test it. So we push 7 and 9. Let me see. Okay, here they counter. He's on 1 life. I don't want to push this life. I will just defend with Sabo here. And we trash Borsalino for sure. Let me see. What do we have in trash? We have Rebecca, Hina already. I don't think that we will need another Murakumo in this game. So I will just trash it. Do we need the Gecko Moria? We might, to set up the next turn as well. And we have Helmepo as a 1k counter. Our board is full. I think we can trash Moria here. I'm not afraid of their turn. And now pass. Let's see how they proceed, because they can do everything. Yep. So that's the point. So always find the proper way to pressure Black Yellow Luffy in the right moment. If they start playing the characters early, be ready with the Hound Blaze, be ready with Murakumo to bottom deck them. In the mid game, maybe even play the 7 cost Borsalino if possible, so any bottom deck that you can pick is crucial in this matchup. Also play as many Kuzans as possible, so not only we are developing the board that can swing without any dawn investment, but also we have a steady reducer for anything that comes up. But as you probably notice, Black Yellow Luffy plays mostly 5 cost characters, so they are really easy to remove for Sakazuki. Here I was a little bit greedy, but still wanted to showcase that we had some lines of play. If he would take the last life, then we would push 9, and you see his hand. He didn't draw any additional 2k counters, so every counter that he would use would be either a chibi version or the adult version of the brothers, which might be not optimal. Obviously last life was Gakomoria, so the next turn might be a little bit tricky, but it was already too much pressure to our opponent. Once they counter, we just protect our board with Sabo, and then even if they manage to transform, they invest so many resources that we can simply push the next turn for the win. And we still had our bottom deck cards, Rebecca, just in case we need more reducing power like Hina, and additional blocker on board. And Houndblaze can push our characters into the range to push into the leader, even though he can buff himself up to 7, 9 or even 11k life. I had the games where Luffy was able to buff into 11k, but my board was built so strong already that I was able to push with, for example, buffed 7 cost Borsalino or Gakomoria. Other option in this game was to slow down even more, don't attack too much, and then just prepare the Gakomoria turn with Rebecca Hina combo and Helmepo, and follow up with Murakumo if we want. Then this game would be really safe. So it's up to you. This matchup is not too complicated unless you don't draw any bottom decking cards and Black Yellow Luffy high rolls for some reason, then it might be challenging, but overall Sakazuki should be able to beat Black Yellow Luffy quite consistent. So that's it for this matchup. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more One Piece content. See you in the next video. Bye bye.